Welcome back to my channel, guys. Time for the anime first impression video. This is going to be on the Food Diary of Miss Maid, which is a series that I believe aired on Tuesday of this week. There's only one episode out. It is only subbed, and you can find it on Crunchyroll. So it is a series that it's, I mean, just by the name, you can probably figure it out. It is a type of foodie series. And the Miss Maid, I mean, by the picture, you can figure it out. It's basically a cute girl trying food. So I will talk about the first episode here and my thoughts on it and really what I think this series will end up being. But before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can find me on social media by checking the description below. I am posting first impressions right now, only first impressions. I will return to reviews. I actually recorded some reviews early on in the year that I'll probably post eventually here, and I have more that I want to review. I have been watching and reading still. Even though I've been on hiatus from my channel, I'm still reading and watching. I just haven't had time to really stop and record and all that. So I do appreciate the love and support for those that are returning to watch. And let's continue growing, because that's been amazing still. Even though I've been gone, we've still been growing here. So, okay, let's talk about the series. Now, the series itself, it's promised, I think, 12 episodes. Honestly, I don't know how they're going to make 12 episodes out of this, but the Food Diary of Miss Maid is basically a cute girl trying food. That is the essence of the story. I do think it's going to be some Yuri behind it. I do think there's some to it. Genres of it, though, is just slice of life and food. So it's just one of those series. Now, first episode of this series, I will say, was packed. They had 5 different foods that she tried. And typically in a food anime, you get 2, maybe a third one, but 5 different foods. And I understand there is a lot of foods that you can try, obviously, but by that, I guess, before I even start my review on this, I just want to say that just tells me what direction this series wants to take. So the story follows the life of this maid who essentially was asked to take a vacation in Japan by her job, boss, whatever you want to call him. And he basically told her she needed to take a break because they were going to remodel the mansion or something. And she gets a call the moment she arrives in Japan that she needs to stay there for a whole year because the renovation, there was a little hiccup where the ceiling fell or something like that. And because of that, she's now having to stay in Japan for a whole year while the renovation happens. So she kind of feels like she doesn't know what to do with her life. So she basically finds this book, and in the book, in the cover, there's like a picture of a bird, and this bird ends up being kind of like a narrator throughout the series. It's kind of weird, not really a narrator, but he's the one that explains the foods to us, or how things work. But yeah, she basically does that, and first thing she does is go buy herself some taiyaki, which is basically I think it's red bean paste, in fried red bean paste, and I think it could also be ice cream. It's something like that. But anyways, point is, she goes and buys it. We get this explanation of how there's 2 different types, of making it, and how the 2 different types will make the fish different and look different and taste different. And then she has takoyaki with her grandma, and I think a mall. She has this little nice encounter with her, lets her know that she basically is kind of sad about the whole situation. Grandma's like, you have an opportunity now, try all these new places, try all these new foods, enjoy yourself for that whole year, right? So then the first thing she tries after After that is Odango, and I'm not really sure what all it is, but it's basically a candy thing in like in form of balls, like in a skewer. And we get like a whole explanation how the proper way to eat it, and then the informal way to eat it, still while not being messy with it, because yeah, it's a messy food. And then after that, she's in the park and she's having a good time, and she basically says that she doesn't know how to use her stove, so she buys convenience food store, and it's onigiri. Now, we get a little history of basically the wrapper of onigiri, but also just how onigiri is made and how it tastes, essentially, with the seaweed paper with it, and she really enjoys it, really likes it. And then on her way back home, finds a cat. She's in the floor. Neighbor sees her, thinks she's a weirdo, and basically leaves her. Now, this is where I think it's Yuri, because I think these girls are going to be like really together, where they're going to be something, but I don't think it's going to get to like lovers. It's going to be just something very close. And yeah, she basically thinks like, oh, well, I made a horrible first impression. So she goes and buys some food. Baumkuchen, I believe is how it's pronounced. Baumkuchen is another form of candy, sort of sweets, homemade sweets. She doesn't buy it. I said that wrong. The grandma makes it for her as she welcomes herself to her. Now, this is like a whole different day. Whole different day has passed, and we don't really get the feeling that it has. But anyways, her neighbor is basically seems to be like a workaholic, or she just works too much, because as she's going to her house, she's in her head thinking, maybe I only have 2-3 hours to sleep and then I have to go back to work, right? So you can understand why she's very dry to the maid whenever she's introducing herself, giving her food, so on and so forth. But with her basically, well, she's like a little, I guess so. I don't know what the word is. She's sweet. She's very sparky. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but her very cheerful attitude basically gets her to laugh and smile at the end of the day. And that, in a nutshell, is the episode. So, what do I think about this series? Well, there's so many foods happening in just one episode that a lot of the story is just rushed. It's like, oh yeah, her grandma happens to live here, and oh yeah, they have some good time, and oh yeah, she feels sad, but now she's in the park, but now she's in her apartment, but now it's a different day. So it just kind of feels like everything was rushed. I wish they would stick it to the typical formula of food series, where it's two foods, give a little bit more history to it, maybe see more of its making, maybe see more of her buying it. Like, I want to see more of that, I guess, if it was really a food series. A lot of it is like, yeah, I went to the convenience store and I have this bag full of food, but we didn't really see any of that. It was just her now, she's on the bench, and now she's eating all this food, and then let's go to the next scene. And it feels rushed, it feels pressured. I personally thought that it wasn't correctly made. Now, I do understand that maybe if it was cut to maybe two foods, it then would feel like it's dragging and like it's taking forever to get to its point. And I can see why maybe they took that decision to rush things. But I think there could be a middle. Right now, I think it's too rushed. Hopefully, that's just how the first episode is, and maybe eventually it goes to a different pace, but we'll see. For now, guys, I'll give this one a 5 out of 10. I don't ever start with such low ratings, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for loving this or watching this, not loving this. You can like it, though. I do appreciate all the love and support, and like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.